live. Don't give out your social number.
Oh no. All what I always wanted to do,
we
dox
we
myself.
casually talk about our social numbers. No.
It's like I could.
No.
It's already out there anyway. Okay, hang on. This audio is loud. Not you, mine.
Yeah.
It's like they just want to bombard me with so much noise. Let's not. Okay. So,
All right. Let me go ahead and get my screens together. My screens went away.
oh no. There we go. Now I got your stream up. It's going through the ads right now.
Yeah, it always does that pre-roll.
It's all good. And since I was trying to do this on my own playthrough and trying to find all the right things,
Mm-hmm.
then that means I could hopefully still help you find what you're looking for the most part.
Yeah. What did you need from this one? You said you were missing some evidence, right?
Yeah, there was the one for one of the miracle kids.
I don't know how I got the evidence though. That's the problem.
I know, that's
Um.
what it's a miracle. Like, okay, I still haven't found a couple of things. It was mostly trying to find where
Oh.
Eli the mechanic worked.
Found this advertisement in The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2 by Charles Lee.
Okay.
So that's probably in the periodical section library thing.
Oh, maybe that's why, because since it was a book, I
Yeah.
was looking for it in the public library.
Okay.
Well, no, yes. Anyway,
Yeah.
Charles Lee.
And then
Because
the mechanic one. That's probably in the
oh yeah, really did do that. Okay, and this one, an ad that ran from there.
in the newspaper, yeah. So maybe we looked up Roottrees Motors. Um,
That sounds. We'll put in Butler County Times and find Roottree real quick. Has played host to many Roottree advertisements over the years. They flood the results. Okay.
uh, Roottrees Motors, maybe.
Yeah. Roottree Motors. I'm trying to remember how we got to that.
Yeah, it's in Butler County Times. Just look up Roottrees Motors and it should add it to your evidence
Perfect. Okay,
docket.
so then the evidence I found, this actually went back to James and Diamond's evidence that we had. Let me see. Because we had, when you click on the Rolling On Down to the City, their nice little album cover,
Right.
it talked about a couple of other things in there. Let's see. We had the Peter Janowicz from MMM. I haven't looked them up yet. But looking up Diamond LaRue, I think, is what gave me some of that.
Okay.
Let's see. Because we look up Jim and Diamond, and then Diamond's Dazzlers was listed in there. So I looked
In
them up.
Diamonds Dazzlers in where?
Diamond LaRue. So when I looked her up on Spider Search,
Uh-huh.
a little further down in the second paragraph, it says, although Jim writes the majority of songs, plays guitar, blah, 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 the band never had
Oh,
another hit, but it has fans who refer to themselves as the Diamonds Dazzlers.
okay. And you look.
So, like with the Root Tree models, with their website, you could highlight Diamonds Dazzlers and look at their result.
Okay, got that now. Name of the official fan club. Find a forum post called Cool Things You Got in the Mail. Still send out a Christmas card every year. It's no longer available to join, but they honor themselves personally. There's a fierce debate on whether that's cool or pathetic. Young
Rude.
Son Wolf. Also note about daughter's band, the Fluzzies. Okay.
Floozies is how I read it.
Oh.
Which,
Picture of Christmas card.
highlight the floozies and look that up too.
Okay. All-female punk band operating out of New York City. Nice. They're mentioned in passing. Apparently they were the opening act for the band the reviewer actually came to see. Reviewer writes he normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual. Trio was extremely cagey about their identities. Rumored to be children of other famous musicians and didn't want that to be why they become popular. Equipment was all extremely expensive, and not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. They're probably losing a fortune. Beef Baby. God. Cover of the CD Conquistador.
Which has now been added to your evidence.
Oh my. Guitar vocals Candy, Nikki, and Nina. Interesting.
So one of those names should be one of the kids to Jim and Diamond.
Okay. Well, we know that they at least have a son, Wolf, right?
Yep. Oh, look. He's even on the Christmas card.
Yeah.
A young son, too. So I'm
Right.
assuming that... Yeah, you're looking right there. So his picture's probably the one on the right because that's youngest.
Yeah. Wolf. Roottrees Wolf. And he's a child, so
Student?
maybe.
I tried to go with unemployed, but...
I think that's more for adults.
Yeah.
We'll assume student. Probably not going to be, like, music listener. I don't know.
I thought musician, and I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Looks like he's 10.
For the other kids, though, we can look up Candy, Nikki, or Nina and see if they have a listing in here.
Yeah, and get the picture real quick.
Okay. Well, there's a Candy.
Okay.
And then there's... Let's see if Nikki is also an option. Nikki is not.
And Nina?
Nina.
I think it's the last one.
Okay, so it's gotta be Candy. And she's on guitar vocals, so singer or musician?
Musician, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm pretty confident in that one.
All
now, the next one was a little bit more obtuse. So let me go.
Didn't you say we messed up on somebody?
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
Okay, yeah, you're looking at the 5 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the others have kind of gotten locked in. Miracle.
Right.
And Margolite and all the others. So yeah, so in that picture right that you're looking at, this picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. So this is Lauren's dad.
Oh, okay. I wonder why we...
I think I did that because I said he looked like Carl.
Oh, okay. Ah, yep. There we go. Nice. Oh, awesome. So you can put those in and unlock some optional entries. Cool, cool, cool. Booyah. Oh, a telephone call.
The call's coming from inside the house.
Some of Carl's things have gone missing. That includes the
Pictures in
mail
mail.
I
Oh,
I
promise she didn't steal it. Mm-hmm.
But I did borrow it. I'll return it once we're done. Let me deal with my family in the meantime. Oh, I guess that means I've officially confessed.
People stealing shit.
I, a root.
Oh,
I assure you I have a reasonable explanation for the secrecy. I'm about to do something big your family doesn't approve of. If you could just wait a little bit longer, I'll tell you more. In person. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
the way it's capital. I'll return after 15 more blood relatives.
Give us more blood relatives. 15 more.
Wait, that's it? No new info? Oh no. I was hoping for new info.
See, this lady knew that you had found more people, and then she decided to call you because she's watching from the walls.
I think she
That
is.
door on the left!
Let's see. So where do we want to dig into today then?
Okay, well, let's see. Since we got that one face figured out, you should probably put the other one in place for the 5 pieces.
Yes. Which I guess the only option here would be this one.
Yeah.
This was it. This person?
Top right, yeah.
Okay. And that'll
Because that's
be
supposed to be...
Elias.
Yes.
Okay.
And we had determined that he was dating someone, or married someone called Stephanie Cattrall. I'm
Right.
pretty sure. Because I think Sam is his son.
Okay. And we're thinking that's the like the illegitimate one, or
I'm not 100% certain.
okay.
Um,
Because people weren't sure why Sam was included.
Yeah, they weren't sure why Sam was included, and because Lauren thought that she was the 3rd oldest in her generation, and then miraculously you just have this blank spot here.
Yeah.
Sam gets included.
Yeah.
And if they're really from order of oldest to youngest, then that's a little weird.
Okay.
I did figure out one more, though.
Okay.
So, let's see. Do you already have Elias M over on the far right?
How far right?
Okay, so, yeah, next to Miracle Jr. This is stuff that I got looking through Lauren's evidence again.
Okay. So right here.
So, yeah, so that one over there. And that should be Elias M.
Okay. Where'd you find that one at?
So in Lauren's Life Between Wars thing. That one right there.
Okay.
Let me see a little bit further in. Is it second page? No. Second page is her talking about Gwen and her aunt Margalite. So not that one. Next one is the Dynasty, where, let me see. Argued it should stay in the family, not even sure Clancy would have wanted it. Oh, actually, if I remember correctly. So back on the second page, where she's talking about Gwen. Gwen, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. That at least told me that there were no more women in her little family tree. So It sounds like one of them's a Clancy, and I think that same document talks about a brother named Edward. It's not this 3rd page. That's them talking about who's the successor, so it gets more of like the next gens. Then they talk about Sam. Let's see. Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Sam at... Near the bottom. Yeah, kind of near to the bottom. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother.
Oh, okay.
So that tells me one of the Elis, it was either Eli C or Eli M.
Right.
Wasn't 100% certain which, but that just meant that, okay, Eli the mechanic seemed most likely.
Yeah, because taught him how to make the bike's engine faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one more thing in all of these, so let me see. Clark. Let's see. Okay, and then so that would be why Eli M would go into that last slot for Miracle's Boys. Not the very bottom one, but the one next to Miracle Jr.
This one here. Do we have a
Yes.
picture for him yet?
Yes, we
Oh.
definitely do. Look through your pictures. There should be the one where he's got a name tag.
Oh, you're right. That is on this one. Here.
Yep.
Okay. So, blonde dude. And we're thinking mechanic, right?
Yes, definitely.
Alright, cool. Now we
And
should have
so
to figure out who he's married to.
which you do have the evidence for that. The motors, Roottrees motors.
Ah, right. Which is...
Wilkins Motors. That's how we looked it up. I don't remember exactly what, but Wilkins Motors.
Tessa.
Tessa.
We thinking he's married to Tessa then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our new Tessa Roottrees, our newest fixer, learned all there is to know about cars from her Roottrees Motors parents.
Okay.
Oh, actually, maybe that's their daughter.
Possibly, yeah. Because we know that Wilkins Motors is now Roottrees Motors because somebody got married.
Right. So, and since we have to use last names for like their birth names on this,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to look for a Wilkins.
Okay.
Which?
Let's see. We have Catherine.
I'm game to test that.
Alright. And
that
we're thinking
Tessa.
Tessa. Mechanic as well.
Yes, definitely.
And did I capture the picture? There we go. Yep, that's it. Nice.
Yay!
Good job. Locked in the 5 pieces.
Huzzah!
Look at us go.
Yeah, you're making some real changes here.
Alright.
Okay, so let's see. Of the ones we've got,
So Miracle's done.
So- miracles are, yeah, pretty much done.
Awesome.
So there was what that ends up doing for us is nearly figuring out who Lauren's brothers are. So back in Lauren's article,
Her
the
book.
last page of it where it talks about Clark.
Okay.
So it's talking about her son Clark marrying someone named Danielle.
Right.
That can at least give you the name of whoever Clark is marrying.
Do we have Clark on the board yet?
We should, definitely.
Yeah.
We don't have a face or an occupation, but that must mean that Danielle...
Danielle. D-A-N-I. Okay. Franks.
Yep.
And they split up at some point.
Yeah. Sad.
So Clark is a free spirit. Would he be in the free spirit picture here?
More than likely, but good luck trying to figure out who's who.
Yeah.
Good to know Guy Hudson is somewhere in here. I would assume the guy on the far right is Guy Hudson, but I can't
This
be
guy?
sure. Yeah.
Mm.
Because I don't know where he is on the tree yet.
Yeah.
Just that I think he was the president before Carl. No, wait, that must have been Ernie. We'll figure them out.
Yeah. Carl's the teenager in the middle. Yeah, it's hard to say who's a teenager because, like, back then, all of the teenagers in the 70s and stuff, they always look like they're 30. So,
Yeah. It's
like,
all the drugs.
yeah, probably, for sure.
Okay,
But,
but
like,
I did. Sorry, go on.
oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I also figured out November.
Oh, awesome. Oh, was she?
Yep.
We were thinking she was the daughter for somebody, right?
Yeah, she is the daughter for somebody, but because she's in that photo, that means she's on the same level as Carl. So somewhere on that line,
This line.
yeah, somewhere on that line is where we will find November.
Okay. Hey,
So
Carvin.
that's. Hello, Carvin! We didn't get that far, we were just cleaning up some stuff.
Yeah.
But, so, for that one, since she should be on the same line with Carl, that helps a bit. I figured out that she was also part of this age because we were doing Brian Jones's printing company, the one for Stephanie Jones with her political ad.
Right.
And one of the things that they mentioned for a musical was that the choreography was done. Yeah, we can look him. We probably have to look Brian Jones up specifically.
Okay.
And yeah, Butler County would be a better option.
Oh, for the periodicals.
Yeah, let's look in periodicals. So you have the Jones graphic and print.
Right. I remember
And
this vaguely
down-
from last time. Yeah.
Yeah. So then he says, search for us online. I designed the website myself. So we can look back up and highlight his company name.
Jones Graphics and Print. Yeah, and then we looked up this stuff, and then the game yelled at us for looking up.
Looking up. Well,
Thanks.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Butler Summer Theater. We can try that one. Or Children of Eden. One or the other.
Website lists the credits of a musical. It's a cast list, but none of the names seem relevant. Posters, additional set design elements by Jones Graphics and Print, and choreography by November Studios. Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I feel that November is related, is that she's got to be old enough. She's doing a local dance school. Now, I actually had to take this one on sort of a guess of faith because I was thinking she's got to be on the same level with Carl,
I mean,
James, and Clark.
does she? Because she looks younger here, right?
Right, but this is in the 70s, and we're currently in the 90s.
That's true. I forget about that. Okay.
Yeah, it throws you because it's like this is the only photo we have of her, but it's from 20 years ago.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so she would be... And we're thinking, but she's the daughter definitely of...
She's not these guys' daughter.
No.
Because this is a very recent thing.
That's right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out Stephanie's in particular.
Alright.
But she does appear to be somehow related by blood. So, back over to where Carl and James are.
Carl and James.
Yeah, we figured out Clark, we figured out Carl, we figured out James. The one next to them, though, there's no married, there's no kids. I took a guess and I put November there.
Okay.
And the big clue for why I did that, since she is part of that generation, and she appears to be at least half black, right?
Right.
So Inside of A Life Between Wars for Lauren Roottrees. I'll actually let you finish that first.
Mm-hmm.
So on the last article with Clark, it's like, maybe I'm getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue passive knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry and who lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires.
Okay.
So that's how I got the idea that November is probably his kid, and if that's the case, Edward would be the father above her.
Okay.
Now, whatever the hell he's taken over, I don't know. Maybe he's one of the other presidents.
Possibly.
Or, oh wait. No, hang on a second. Pop is their dad, so he's a lawyer. So if Edward is taking over at the end, he's gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. So
He's a
maybe
lawyer.
Edward is a lawyer, yeah.
And for picture, he would be
Yeah, so in that photo there,
this one.
the next generation, they gathered around on the warehouse floor. The four of them are gathered together in the center, so it should be Lauren, and then it's her three brothers that she raised.
Okay.
I wanted Eli to stand all the way to the left since he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one, but I was outvoted by my brothers. So maybe we can look at the photos and see which of those three boys
Look like
her dad.
which
Which
is this one here, right? So yeah.
Yeah. So handsome, blonde,
This
looks like... Yeah. I think you are correct there.
Yeah. And he would be married to... Do we know yet?
Not yet. That's the downside.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out who he's married to yet, but that might be a search. I don't know yet.
If we look up, Edward?
Yeah, Edward Roottrees. No. I wonder if Butler County Times has him.
Hey, Wolf. Nothing
Wolf.
relevant. Business Watch, maybe? No. Okay.
Okay, so what we do know, or at least what I think I know, is that Edward should be at the end, above November, is a lawyer, and is not the blonde of the three boys.
He is blonde, though. Edward?
I think she said Eli was the blonde one
Oh.
in
Did
that
I-
photo. Hang on,
did
let
I
me double check.
Pick the... Because this guy looked most like the dad.
Yeah, I wanted Eli to stand all the way to the left, but Eli is different from Edward. She
Oh.
wanted Edward to... Wait. Doy. Maybe... Okay, so since the chart itself has oldest on the left and youngest on the right, maybe we can put them in order based on some of their height. So I think right above Carl, it should be Clancy Jr., I think.
Yeah, we got Clancy there.
Okay. And it should probably be the one with the glasses and the pencil mustache.
Because he's tallest, kind of thing? Or...
Yeah, so he kind of looks
Yeah.
like he would be the next old or the next eldest.
Right, okay.
After that would probably be Elias, because she says that he looks the most like Pop.
Elias C.
Elias C, yeah.
That would be this one.
Yeah. And then the last one would be the one in the middle, so that
Here.
should be Edward.
Edward. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. You're so good at this.
I just had more time to, like, reread it after we were burning out last time.
That's true. Alright, cool.
Yay!
And do we know what Elias does yet, or
Not yet.
not yet? Okay. And we don't know the spouses yet. Okay. We're still missing
Yeah,
a
I'm
picture
sure
for
we'll find out eventually, but...
James. Cool. Okay, so we got them locked in. So we just need to start, I guess, digging in somewhere.
Yeah, I'm checking your notes with my notes and seeing what we don't have matched up yet.
Okay. If you need me to look at something, let me know.
Let's see. Looks like most everything's the same. Maybe it's just I got a couple of spouses or something. But no, it's talking about blood relatives only.
We've still got one more evidence here. Is because... Oh, I never put Jacob's photo in.
Oh yeah, now we're both on the same number, so we should be good.
Okay.
Now for the hard part, where we try and figure out the rest.
No, we finished the game. We're good.
Okay, we call it a day. Goodbye.
No. There's still one more evidence here I've got. Do you have one more for this as well? I guess because he's not officially locked in yet.
Yeah, for me, no, it still shows me one more on those.
Okay.
Let's see. Three
So
younger.
we've got
I think it's because we still have the three younger brothers thing for that.
Okay.
We
Still
haven't
got
figured out what her
ton
does.
here.
Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. Musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense, which means that she thinks that every one of the free spirit generation is musicians, artists, and dancers.
Right. But we've got a musician, a dancer, preacher, mechanic.
So I think that means, like, if she's thinking of people immediately in her family, musician is James, dancer is November, Carl's the quote disciplined one because he's a president, so I guess Clark
Right.
might be the artist. Let's see. Clancy sent him to the academy. Has knowledge,
Our
most
generation
girls-
was never so bad.
Ugh, honey, stop. Let me stop you right there.
What was that whole illegal to marry?
Yeah, right? Remember, we were the best generation, except we couldn't marry black people. At least, you know, below Pennsylvania. Thank goodness
Right.
this was based in Pennsylvania.
Awkward.
Yeah, no. Public library. Swashbuckle my heart.
God, I want to use that in something. Let me write that down real quick.
Swashbuckle my heart.
Yeah, it's such a great title. It sounds
Out
like
of
a great
print.
one shot.
Re-released as X marks the spot. Oh my god.
Nice.
I wonder if X marks the spot gets me any hits instead.
Where'd you search that up at?
So I went to the public library
Okay.
and typed in Lauren Rafferty for the author name and Swashbuckle My Heart for the book title.
Rafferty, Raffet.
E-R-T-Y.
Okay. X marks the spot.
And then it didn't give me anything, which sucks. Although...
Published under a
maybe-
different name? Would it be
Yep.
under... Roottrees?
Because her, yeah, try Roottrees. Because her publisher asked her about using that name popularity.
That's right. A Buried Treasure by Lauren Roottrees from the author of the Court series. Keep an eye out for Lauren Roottrees' next book, Revisiting the Diary 10 years later, released in 1975.
Okay.
Oh, that's a new diary then, right?
Yeah, it sounds like.
Okay, let's look that up. Revisiting the Diary 10 years later. We got one. Version Roottrees' diary released in 1975. Unlike the original diary, it contains no pictures but has new passages. One major event that happened between releases that changed Lauren's outlook on certain subjects, the death of Elias. So, summary of the fallout has been added to your notes as well as some other select pages. Ooh, got lots of new evidence.
Interesting. Use the same photo and everything.
Yeah. It looks AI upscaled too, kind of like, you know, they would do the photos these days. The artwork isn't AI though, but I'm just saying like in universe kind of thing.
It's like, yeah, look at how we highlighted and, you know, perfected this. It's been remastered. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
Elias Roottrees had died, and during the reading of his will, there was an audible gasp when a certain name was read aloud, Samantha Roottrees. Although Sam and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, he had stipulation that she retain the right to run the farm and any and all decisions related to it.
Oh shit. So that the scandalous secrets came out.
Wait, Sam's a girl?
Yeah, I was surprised too.
I've been thinking this whole time. No.
That Sam's a guy? Yeah,
Wait.
me too. Oh, hang on. But maybe they did say he in the previous ones, didn't they?
I thought they did. Let me look at that real quick.
Quite shocked everyone else, including Sam. She had been told her parents died. Apparently, Sam was the illegitimate child of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen.
Oh.
Ooh. Patricia, the daughter of a local steel mogul, and Eli Jr. harbored a secret romance at age 16. She became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see Elias Jr. ever again. Her baby
Aw.
Samantha was sent to the Roottrees. That's fucking rude. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. That was the end of that. Almost.
Wow, that's kind of rude.
Yeah. Incredibly. Sexism. Patriarchy.
What year was this again? Like, can you just do that? Just marry somebody off to somebody older like that? Like,
yeah, no. Listen.
wait, that doesn't make, like, what?
The 1940s and 50s were... Listen, I read a lot of Regency romances, and
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
This kind of crap was probably still very prevalent.
It just sounds very like, you are a commodity now. I will now marry you off.
Listen, that was the life until the 50s. Let's see. Patricia... None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared, now going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Eli Jr., and they finally married in their 50s? Oh, okay. Lauren mentioned the wedding in her first diary without knowing Patsy's history. Eli Jr. had never taken another lover. Lauren, ever the romantic, quite appreciated that.
Aw.
When Patsy and Eli Jr. finally married, Elias decided Sam should have been a Roottrie in the first place. Even though she was no part of the clans to trust, he wanted to include her in family affairs. That was what led to Lauren's initial entry entitled Sam.
Okay. Let me look
I
at
am
that
going to look at that
entry.
initial entry
Yeah.
real quick. That's a Sam
Yeah,
lives
it
here.
never gives a pronoun.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. My assumptions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sam's a pretty common male name, so that makes sense. But
Yeah. Plus, if you're working as a farmhand, sometimes it's nice to have that familiarity.
yeah, and the assumption because like gave tools and taught how to make. Yeah, it's very much like male coded kind of stuff, sort of thing.
Yeah. Sam gave him some ultimates on how to make the vibrations faster.
None of us think that proper. That's why, because Sam's a girl. Probably.
Yeah. And Sam, being older, probably inspired Eli to become a mechanic later,
Yeah.
since he's the youngest in that generation.
Yeah. So that's why that wasn't proper.
Oh, that explains. Okay, the photo of the next gens. Now where we have Zach and everyone else. This unknown girl in the back with the.
This one.
You're almost there.
It's hard to find.
No, you're fine.
This
you're
one.
Fine. Yeah, the girl in the back.
Yeah. So that's Sam.
It's either got to be her or she could be Angelica. Actually, I'll have to see which one of them actually hits because I put Angelica as the lady with the black hair on the right.
This one, or this one.
Yeah, the one on the far right.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've put her down as Zach's sister, but it hasn't solidified. So I'm wondering if that's Sam.
Potentially. We could swap the photo. Do we know? That makes sense hair-wise, I think. Isn't that kind of reddish looking?
Yeah.
So Sam would be here.
And we should change it to Samantha. Because it's
Oh,
assuming
yeah.
it's a male.
Wait, but then there is a Sam somewhere.
Yeah, probably one of her sons.
Okay. That'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it? Naming your son, like, your shortened nickname? Like, I don't know. Like,
I mean,
I feel that would be weird, but...
you're not wrong. You were definitely not wrong.
So, was Sam a mechanic? Samantha a mechanic then, or
No, I wanted to say ranch hand, but no.
farmer?
Farmer? Farmer.
Farmer, is that a thing?
If not that, then like manufacturing? Farmer is an occupation.
Yeah.
But I guess we might need to continue reading more.
Yeah, let's read some more and see.
This says local farmhand, because it could be like later on Sam ended up getting a different job, and we have to get the latest job. So let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Got to the end where Patsy or Patricia Christensen got married. Oh, such a lovely love story.
It's so romantic.
So romantic. After years of him never taking another lover. That does sound like a Regency romance, actually.
Can we put Patsy on the board then somewhere?
Yes. So go back to the board, and let's look for Elias Jr. Roottrie, and look at his spouse. Above Sam's.
Okay. We have Stephanie Cattrall there.
Yeah, I don't remember how we got Stephanie Cattrall, so we'll have to come back to that.
Okay.
But yeah, we can replace that with Patricia Christensen. Because if he never got married again,
Right.
so I'm pretty sure that's the case here. Okay, so moving on to the next section of this.
Companion piece to the entry about Sam. Clearly, I did not know our true family history when I wrote this. I didn't even know Sam was a root tree. All of my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. Had she the chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwen never was. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. It has been a long time since any real root tree was as excited and interested in the actual candy as Ernie. As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. What I'm most ashamed of is not figuring it all out myself. Sam is a spitting image of Patsy with her jet black hair and green eyes. Okay, so we did pick the right one then. She doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Her children have that covered. So her kids have glasses. Okay.
Okay.
It's hard to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that the farm's operations would pass to Samantha Roottrees for as long as she was willing. Got flashbacks to when Zach was made president. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam wouldn't receive any candy money after all. It was essentially inheriting the right to rule over the peasants for eternity. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor. He's gay.
He's gay.
And I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller.
And they were roommates.
And they were roommates. We found the gay. All right.
They were roommates.
I just know confirmed bachelor from Fallout 3 as an actual perk that you can take, and I didn't realize that's what that meant when I went through that. So because I was looking that up, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they the same thing in Regency Romances is a confirmed bachelor.
Nice.
The guy, he never goes out and tries to get any women on his dance cards because he is gay as fuck.
I'm not sure if Sam will ever forgive Uncle Junior or Patsy for abandoning her to that life. If I were her, I might never forgive them either, but even so, she seems to blame more than just the two of them. She has no problems with us next gens, but she's the palpable hatred for the Five Pieces and Elias and Gwyneth.
I don't blame her. Damn. Let's see.
So where do we put EC then?
EC may not be blood related at all.
Okay.
This is the only issue. So unless there's like something else that they add in, like that top secret part that it says there, you can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. It has two names that must be typed in manually. So maybe John Miller and EC raised her, so they're like the adopted parents.
Yeah, if she grew up in the house with him and the roommate. The roommate. Love that. Okay.
So that would mean Samantha isn't necessarily a farmer. Maybe she's a farm owner. Well, I guess there isn't really any difference.
Yeah, I'd say farmer for now until
that changes.
Yeah, until we can see something else. Let's move on.
However,
oh, go ahead.
If I understood correctly, Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her. That was up near the top, like the third paragraph.
Yeah.
So I do remember talk of Ernie Jr. because since I was doing the evidence recently, Ernie Jr. and Carl Roottree helped start the Root fashion brand. And I believe Ernie ended up becoming one of the presidents. Or if not Ernie, then Ernie Jr. did.
Well, if Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach, who we know is the president. So that makes sense.
Okay, so finding out she's a farmer, her spouse should be Ernie or Ernest. That's usually the official name that gets shortened to Ernie.
Yeah, and then Ernest Jr. would be
One of her sons.
right. Um,
So Ernest Madsen. So there's two Madsens, or there should be. There's Gwyneth, Ernest Jr., and then there's Nicole. That one, okay.
where are you getting those from?
I just typed in, for the names, I typed in Madsen to see what other
Oh,
results
I
would come
see.
up, because they're coming from the master list. I don't know who would be first, though, if it's Ernest Jr. or Gwyneth.
Hmm.
But I do remember Gwyneth. Well, actually, no. Nicole Madsen is also an option. There was that Shava candle one. Let's see. Nicole. Okay, yeah. Ernie and I had to stay strong. So I think Ernie Jr. married a Debbie. The one with the lady and the girl and the candle. So it's on your bottom right.
Yeah.
See, I was trying to figure out this thing about Ernie because he had to have been a president, and he had connections with Carl. They had this, I believe this is a car, no, this wasn't a car accident. This was, he didn't get on the donor list in time. So he died of an illness.
Mm.
And there was that, you remember that guy who had a conspiracy website about the Roottrees curse?
Right. Yeah.
It had like the fucking red Mayan skulls and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned about how like 5 Roottrees, like all the presidents have died, quote, mysterious deaths.
Yeah.
And Ernie had like stepped down because was it poisoning? No, it was just cancer or something.
Mm.
So, all of that to say, this is the path that I believe Ernie should be from. It's probably either the first kid or the second. So I think I'm going to take a stab on mine. I'm going to put Ernest Jr. as the eldest.
Okay.
I'm going to put him down as one of the presidents. I don't know which one. Maybe the 4th one. And I'm going to put down Deborah as his wife. So underneath Sam.
Deborah Bean.
Yeah, Deborah Bean is who I got.
With Zach being the second president, would he be the third then?
I don't know if he was second, if he was a 3rd or 4th.
Okay.
Because 5th should be Carl. There's Hudson. Guy Hudson was one of them. And I think the photo of that generation from the 70s has him listed as the next president.
Okay.
Or soon to be president. So I think Hudson came after Zach, then Ernest Jr., then Carl.
Okay. In terms of photos,
Yeah, I don't know if Deborah's photo even gets used in this case.
no, there's no little photo next to her
The
name.
one on the left. You're right. Okay, so that actually might help us move it to the other one, because if we have her photo, it should be getting used.
Do we have her photo? It would be...
It would be in the same photo with the Shava candle.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so she does have a photo, so we probably put her on the right then.
Yeah.
Which means Ernest would go here. Ernest Jr. Madsen. the child. Which is on the candle photo. And her name is Nicole.
Yep. That is correct.
And
since she appears to still be a child
student.
student.
Okay. K through 12. Yep, well done.
Woohoo!
Nice, nice, nice. We've locked in Samantha, Nicole, Angelica. Cool. Alright. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Now,
It's parsing out some of the other photos and whatnot, but we're getting there.
yeah. Now for the... oh, I need to... switch that occupation. Do we have a photo for Gwen?
I don't... Well, we should in the same free spirits, but I don't know who's who then.
There's so many of
Just-
them.
There really are.
Oh, wait. Glasses, right? Or no, that's somebody else. Who is it that was talking about they had glasses?
Oh, no, you're right. It was in that revised article.
Yeah, let
She
me look
said,
at that. Both of them got it, I think? Glasses,
yeah,
glasses.
I think you're right.
Where was that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fourth.
Her children have that covered. So both of the kids have glasses.
Good catch.
So there are only 2 kids on here that have glasses. So that's gotta be these 2 then.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Nice, nice. Alright, cool.
Very, very nice. Okay, so
Oh, let me capture their photo. You know, it just looks like an Ernest.
he looks like a cowboy.
Yeah.
Definitely the kind of president who shows up without a tie or a blazer on.
Right.
Because it's the 70s.
And then Gwyneth is married to... do we know yet?
I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think this was another way I found out it was Eli M for the mechanic, because it has the list of them under the free spirits.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, Carolyn is on here. Carolyn somewhere.
Oh, on that photo? Yeah, Carolyn...
I only remember Carolyn because Carolyn Landon and Stephanie Landon, who then marries Brian Jones, who has the Jones Printing and Graphics. So she's got to be one of these, but Lord knows if we'll figure that out.
Okay. Well, should we keep going in the book then?
Yeah, let's keep going in that book.
Alright.
'Cause that seems to be giving us the most.
We're on to Clark. This is a page of additional notes and context from the 75 10-year anniversary re-release of Lauren's diary. It's a companion piece to the entry about her son Clark. Reading this back, I get deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Roottrees has ever remarried. Sure, I lost Jacob, and Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Not even I can blame her for that. I've seen what he gets up to in Starlet. But neither of us ever took a second husband. With the way the world is moving, I guess it was inevitable someone in this family would remarry. I just wish it wasn't my son. Can only wonder if Clark's apparent disrespect for marriage, is due to the lack of a real father. I did what I could, and Lord knows Eli C. stepped up and helped. More than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers whenever he could. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock, pun intended. Pun intended, what? so who knows what causes these things. I suspect he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out on the band. Without her, he'd be the third wheel. I imagine they wouldn't last long as a trio, but still, I don't think a marriage on such a shaky foundation like that can last. And Lord knows I was right last time. And we
So,
do know by the line, right, that... Oh no, where... This one, yeah. They remarried a lot.
yeah,
Um,
which looks like, so if it's only been 10 years, I'm guessing ugh, probably Jane is the second.
yeah, I suspect he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out on the band.
Yeah.
So,
And that makes me wonder.
Jane LaRue. We do have a photo for her, I guess?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's got a photo next to her name, so...
I don't know yet, though.
Yeah.
Because that would have been like Jim and Diamond, and then looking more into all of that, so I'm not sure yet.
What's with
So,
the
okay.
Eli's marriage seems fine and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock, pun intended. Is that something to do with, like, somebody's name is a rock?
His spouse Diamond,
Oh,
probably.
I'm smart.
Hey, it's been a hot minute. We haven't played this in like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So let's see. I'm sure there's like an older picture of Jim and Diamond somewhere, but
Well, this is... Would Diamond be on here?
no, I think it's just the family members.
Okay. Oh, they got it. She's got to be somewhere then. Because there's another photo we can put up of her.
Well, let's go back to revisiting that diary and finish this one out.
Alright, let's go
Although,
on to...
we did figure out Gwen was married to Wild Bill. We just don't know who the hell Wild Bill Williams is.
We've searched them all over, yeah. I haven't been able to find, like, a legit name.
Actually, let me go back. Starlit was a magazine that started with the colorization of film.
Oh, did we not have that added into the periodicals?
I didn't.
I don't have it either.
Yeah, so look up Starlit and we can look up
Yep.
Wild Bill.
There we go.
probably.
That gets us something.
Beautiful.
Wild Bill Williams was mentioned many times throughout the magazine's lifespan. Stories and gossip about who he'd seen with in public, blondes mostly. One of his first roles was under his real name, Walter Forsythe. Finally, we have a name.
Nice.
Alright, so...
He's talking about Gwen Roottrees. An apology to all ladies, I'm actually taken. Earlier this year, I did a friend a favor. He was directing a war movie and asked me to play a small part. When you know it, that son of a bitch cut me from the picture. I'm just ribbing. It wasn't his fault. Apparently, the studio didn't want to pay for a star of my caliber. I got the last laugh, though. I met someone. She spent most of the film crying. She was playing a soldier's wife. But even through the tears, she was incredible. I know I tend to have a reputation, but this one's true love. I only have eyes for her. She
So-
divorced your ass.
Probably said that for like the third time.
Ugh.
The third is a
Let
rumor
him
that
get-
his divorce from Gwen was due to multiple affairs, including one with another actress. As an American reader on vacation in Paris claims to have overheard Wild Bill and Gwen arguing in public while she was holding a baby and visibly pregnant. Not long after, Gwen announced she was divorcing Wild Bill, and also she was pregnant again, giving this rumor more credibility.
Mm.
So, Gwen... Where's she at? Walter Forsythe.
A wonder, then.
So we've got a third kid.
Maybe. Or maybe that's just when she announced that she was still pregnant shortly after that, so she had another on the way.
Yeah.
So it's really only 2 kids.
Well, on the board, she's got 3, right?
She's got 2, and then there's one who's married with a spouse.
Oh,
Should be-
I completely misread that one. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Trust me.
I was like,
okay.
wait, yeah.
We've had this conversation.
Yeah, no, we're good. And we haven't gotten to them yet, though. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Let's...
in that case, back to the diary.
Yes, let's look at the names entry. It is not a companion piece to any specific entry, but addresses feedback. The biggest complaint I got after publishing my diary was how many similar names there are, and I get it, there are 4 Eli's for Pete's sake, but that's how it is. Someone would say I saw Eli in town, and I wouldn't know which one they meant. My brother, my uncle, my cousin. That's why they became Uncle Junior, or Miracles Eli, or Eli C. Our family's names were always unusual. Grandpa Elias was a believer in using the names of each generation to honor those in the last. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father were named Edward and Clancy, so now you see where my pop's name came from. One thing that's always been consistent is that anytime someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. Okay, that goes to Miracle,
Okay.
Eli, or even Clancy. With the women, however, all goes out the window. I think Gwendolyn got her name from some combination of Gwyneth and Carolyn, who was Elias's mother. Women's names tend to get all mixed up as the generations went on. Uh, I guess that's because there's no female equivalent of junior. So if you're reading my diary and get confused, you're not alone. Even the government had problems. I remember once receiving a certified mail for an Edward Clancy Rootree. I had to break the news they got my father's name backwards. Nice.
Clancy Edward.
Okay.
Right then, I didn't get much out of that one.
No,
Other than
not
the fact
yet.
that it's Carolyn.
So on to anger. Apparently, this is the first thing she could find that she ever wrote. She knows it was for a school assignment about anger, and she believes, based on the teacher's name, she must have been in 3rd grade. Doesn't exactly remember the events spelled out here, but she does remember getting in trouble. I got angry when I met a new girl who I do not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged him. When I told her he was my Pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, "Your Pop is my dad." She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing, so I pushed her too. Then I got in trouble. Then Pop took her away. He told me, "Don't worry, I'm glad she's gone." Samantha?
Maybe Sam, yeah. Granted, it's not him, because it doesn't say he was the dad.
Well, she said,
Maybe they,
"Your Pop is my dad."
yeah, which her dad is Clancy Edward,
Oh,
but it's not Clancy Edward who's Sam's dad, that's Elias Jr.
yeah.
Man, oh man, it's been confusing.
A little bit.
Still haven't figured out what Elias C does, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Well, that led to a lot.
Yeah.
Uncle Junior. Or Eli Jr., okay. And then Miracle's Eli, who's the mechanic, and then Eli C., who is Lauren's brother, who we still don't know what his occupation is. There was the talk about James and Carl hanging out more. I don't think I got that article myself. So I think that was something in a periodical.
Which one was it?
I don't remember. Looking at your stuff, I'm not seeing anything that... It was something written.
Do you have all the evidence that I have listed here?
It looks like. Oh, darn it. Deleted all of that. I don't have Teen Blast, so maybe I can grab that real quick.
That was...
For Reyna.
Reyna, yeah.
This mentions TMS and Brother Trouble.
TMS, what's he up to? Teen Blast can tell you.
Results. That's because Raina was the one who was on it first. My grandpa was a college professor who taught me lectures of history, so that's how we got his profession.
For
His
Clancy.
older sister. Yeah, for Clancy.
Yeah.
His father, or his older sister, even wrote a book. Grandma Laura tells me he was really proud of what we managed to accomplish. The only Laura listed here in my list of names is Laura Carlson. So at least gives me something to put that in.
Where are you putting her?
You already have her right next to Clancy Jr. Roottrees, the
Oh,
professor,
okay.
Carl's dad. Yeah, I didn't have her there yet.
Alright.
Okay, so Clanced Trust, is that what they keep talking about?
Yeah, that Samantha wasn't able to get in with.
I wonder if we can look that up. There's got to be something about it.
Can try, yeah. The Clance, pronounced Clansed, the Clansed
Oh.
Trust is a highly unusual corporate arrangement named after Clancy Edward Roottrees, who was Elias's son and the Roottrees Candy Company's head lawyer at the time. Due to its unique nature, it's often brought up in online discussions about financial matters and inheritance as an oddity. Company mandates that a fixed percentage of its profits are split every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth. An account is created for each blood relative at birth and first accessible when they reach 18. So, yeah, it's a trust fund then. Actual numbers have never fully been disclosed to the public, but due to the ever-increasing success, it's a significant amount of money. The Clancy Trust is known for it being essentially impossible to get around due to many checks and balances written to it. Still, there have been a few situations in which family members have tried to forcibly remove another member from the trust. Most details online are pretty vague, since most are handled internally. Only information you discover is from a university law school, which apparently had a guest lecturer talk about the Roottrees versus RR in '94. While looking into the Clancy Trust, you often find mentions to the 5 Ps guarantee, which went into effect at the same time. Let's look that up. In combination with Clanstead Trust was Elias's Roottrees' attempt to ensure that the Roottree Candy Company would remain a family business for eternity. In isolation, it is somewhat baffling. The yearly salary of the president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. When the 5 piece guarantee went into effect, this was 25 cents a year. Now it's closer to $4. Combined with the Clanstead Trust, however, it makes a bit more sense. Elias wanted to ensure that only his direct relatives could afford to be president, and he knew that because their passive income was tied to the profits of the company, they would have a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable and successful as possible. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Whether or not this was smart or successful is widely debated online and in person by economics enthusiasts of all levels. Weird.
So they're doing all of that work for $4 a year?
Well, plus the Clancy Trust, I suppose. The 5 piece guaranteed. Yeah. So that's the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, let's go back real quick because there was the Roottrees versus RR.
Yeah. Let's see if we can look that up in the newspaper, perhaps.
I'm looking in the spider search real quick. Find few details on this particular incident with regards to the Clanstead Trust. The student that attended the lecture about it wrote the following on a legal oddities website.
Okay. R attempted successfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. Said RR attempted 2 arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock. Second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Due to the ironclad wording, it's impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottrees without completely dissolving the trust.
RR.
Was it Samantha
So
then?
it looks like it was targeted at Samantha, but brought in by somebody else.
What about the crime?
Yeah, that's the interesting part. Let's see. When I look back and try and type in Roottrees, because we're assuming RR is for someone Roottree.
Right.
The 2 that I'm showing is a Robert Roottree and a Ronald Roottree, but we have no idea where they belong on this.
Right.
But that's my guess, is it's got to be Robert or Ronald.
Okay.
What a hot, hot mess.
Yeah. I wonder what the crime. If we can, maybe we can look up Samantha or Sam.
Yeah.
Crime. No.
If not that, then maybe it is in periodicals. But I don't know which periodical would look in.
I've got Business Watch, County Times, Modern Music, Starlet, and Teen Blast. Do you have anything different?
Let's see. I have Business Watch, Butler County Times, Starlet, and Teen Blast. That's about it. But Modern Music Monthly.
Yeah, that's from... I forget what we were searching in there.
That was something with Jim and Diamond.
Yeah, probably.
It's on the front of their cover, which I'm just going to grab that for myself real quick. Peter Janowitz. There we go.
Samantha doesn't show up Butler County Times, which is interesting if a crime was disconnected, or if a crime was done.
Oh, maybe by her mom's last name?
Oh.
Well, no, actually. Miller. Maybe either under Mr. Miller or whatever EC's name was. Because, can't tie her to a big Moogle's daughter or to a Roottree, right?
Right.
John Miller, maybe? Because it said she was a farmhand with EC and John.
Yeah, John Miller doesn't bring up anything.
Okay.
And if she
That
was
was a
the
long
one that
shot.
did the crime...
Yeah, they gotta be way more specific about what crime.
Yeah. Curious if it was like an actual crime, or is it like rich people crime? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's this white collar, blue collar bullshit.
Yeah.